Hey, y'all. Welcome back. I am Charisma with Charisma Cares. I was looking at my hair. So, I'm doing another I Have Something to Say. And today I want to talk about finding and following your purpose and your passion anywhere in the world. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me before we get started with that. So, I travel abroad with my son who has special needs and disability. My daughter lives in the States. She's all grown, adultish now. Um, I do so by investing in real estate in um, multiple states in the United States, short, mid-term rentals, as well as now I and my son are landowners here in Rwanda, Africa. If you have any interest in any of these things, go to my website, um, charisma-cares.com. I think I got it somewhere. And we can schedule an appointment if you want to learn more about Africa, investing in Africa. We can do a consultation. We could talk about traveling as a solo woman with special needs or disabilities or with kids. So that's that spiel. Um, so today, I want to talk about finding your purpose because, and I know it's not going to be a lot of people on here because it is 8:42 where I am, but it's 2:42 Eastern. So I hope you all have a chance to go back and listen to this. Yes, you can listen to it in the car while you're driving. There's no special effects. All you need is to hear it. And so, um, a lot of times, once we once you get to the point where I am leaving the United States, some people leave with work from home jobs. They have regular hours and they just make it work wherever they are in whatever time zone they're in. Some people do some type of investments. Like I said, I teach women to invest in real estate, or they may invest in the market. Sondra, she does a channel where she teaches women to invest in the real estate market from, I can't remember, lack to legacy. So she does that where she teaches women to invest in the real estate market, and I'll tag it here. And then some people may do, um, so in case you're interested in that. So, and then some people may actually do coaching or consulting. So, there's different things that you do. Well, for me, I am an investor. So, my job, I don't have an everyday job anymore. Before, I was a nurse practitioner and I worked 3 to 4 days a week. I never worked every day, but 3 to 4 days a week, which was a good work life balance for me. Now being an investor and not having an everyday job, I find that I'm stimming. Um, and what I mean is, I don't have an everyday job. I don't have a place I'm supposed to be every day. I don't have a time that I'm supposed to be there. I don't have a time that I need to be back in the States. I don't have, I absolutely am creating my own journey right now. And I must assume this is what retirees feel like. I think that's what I can compare this to. When you retire and you've been doing something a certain way all your life, and then you no longer do that, you probably need to find purpose. And for me, this was really one of my last goals. One of my last check marks was to get to Africa. And I'm here. I am going to Kenya next month. I've made it to Rwanda, and y'all, really haven't even planned what I was going to do after Kenya. I was actually going to do Egypt, but with the war ensuing, I'm definitely not going there. I know people say it's safe, but I don't take chances. So what I have found is that I love meeting people. I love networking. I love learning new things, and I love teaching. So I was deciding, do I want to stay in Rwanda? Do I want to go to Kenya? What do I want to really do next? When do I want to go to Kenya? Because I'm definitely going to Kenya. And in doing so, I created this post that I wanted to share with you all. Let's see. It's in my Facebook group. If you're in Atlanta, you are welcome to join the Facebook group. It's for Black women who want to travel the world, leave the. I'm trying to share the tab. Travel the world, leave the states. That's what it's for. Let me see. Let me figure out why it is not wanting to share my tab. Um, let's see. Um, Let me see. Screen share. I wonder why it's not wanting to share my tab. Anyway, so I guess I'll read it off. Let's see some. Let me try one more thing. Yeah, no, it won't share my tab. So this particular group is called Peach State Expat Ladies. It is for Black women that want to travel and live abroad, and they live in Georgia, the Peach State. So the post says, I just want to give you an update. Things are going amazing here on the continent, Africa. I'm doing podcasts, other events, teaching others, especially African Americans, to buy land with as little as 10,000. I'm networking and really building a name for myself in a short time. I'm at a crossroads where I'm wondering, should I start something bigger, a nonprofit for women and disabled? This is something I'm thinking long and hard on. It's much needed, but I'm supposed to be traveling the world freely. Could I do both? I find myself wondering if I have too much freedom. It sometimes makes it harder to make choices. Is that even possible? What happened to do nothing? Is doing something you love better than absolutely nothing? Am I even a person that can do nothing? These are all things that I think about. And I said I'll probably discuss on my next YouTube live. I can't be, oh, and then I talked about planning for meetups. And, people inform me, do what it is that you want to do, what you feel like is best for you. But at this point, I don't know what is best for me. So she said, one person said, don't be pressured to do more. Remember, you come from a society in the US. Do more for getting to know you and relaxing. And I said, I don't feel pressured. I already do real estate tours, travel coaching, and have rentals in the state. Even though that sounds like a lot, it's really not a lot, y'all. It's not, it's things that I do very easily. I think this is more about finding my passion, being in a position in which I don't have to work and doing something that match my interest. And then she said, doing less can lead to mental clarity and direction. And so I want to copy that since you're not able to see that. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, the doing less. Because for some people, I feel like doing less does lead to, well, there are some people that can really do nothing. The introverted people can really be in the house just chilling. Extroverted people, there are days where I'm in the house just chilling, doing nothing and relaxing, and I love it. Those days are not very often. I really need to be moving, doing things, making some change. I just have to be doing stuff. Like, if I'm honest to myself, and I know people say, oh, rest, relax. Rest for me just, is me hanging out in the house on the beach, just relaxing or taking a nap. Rest for me is really not being asleep every day, all day, or staying in the house every day. I would go stir crazy if I did such a thing. I just really am not a person that can sit still too long. And I have this thought that I was given certain adversities. I believe that's right. um, to overcome and the ability to overcome them so I can lead other people and help them as well. I want to make sure this camera is clean. There we go. So I can lead them and help them as well. I don't believe that I became a teenage mom to my baby girl for nothing. I don't believe I had a child with a disability for nothing. And when I say for nothing, I mean just for survival. There are some people that are here to survive. There are other people that are here to thrive. I feel like at this point I have mastered thriving. You may have mastered thriving in certain circumstances. And I feel like I am blessed to have mastered thriving. I'm blessed to have mastered the art of healing myself and others. And I feel that at this point, I should, well, let me back up. Someone informed me, I told y'all this, that I was a superhuman. And they said that the things that I've done with my son are really amazing. Um, and as usual, I'm like, I'm just a mom. But apparently, these are not everyday things that moms do, are capable of doing, or have even thought to do. So, even with my daughter, um, I was in college. I had her my freshman year of my bachelor's program. And I stayed out a semester and then I went back to school. I went to school summer, fall, spring, graduated in 4 years. And I think that lessons that I've learned along the way can be helpful to other people. So, going back to this doing less can lead to mental clarity and direction. I do feel like that can be the case, but I don't think that doing less for me means not doing much, if that makes sense. Um, there does come a time where you do need to do less. You do need to take time for yourself. And I think for me to do less, I need to take a look at what actually doing. What are the things that I am truly doing? Do I love them? Is that something I want to do? There are things that I do for investments, for money purposes, but there should be some things that I do because I absolutely love and adore what I do. And I think that's the same for everyone. You know, cursed are we that go to jobs that we absolutely hate. You ever talk to somebody that goes to a job that they absolutely hate? They never have anything good to say. It's like the worst conversation of complaints. And it's because they don't love what they do. A person that loves what they do, you can see it. I loved what I did until I got bored with it. I get bored easily. And even though I didn't want to work, I loved working with my patients. Um, so after helping my patients, it was worth it for me. And I mean, I got paid really good. So that definitely helped. Um, but loving what you do is important, whether that is your 9 to 5, whether that is volunteer, no matter what that is. And for me, I've always been a volunteer person. Me and my daughter, before my son was born, we would go to Hosea Feed the Homeless. We would collect money and toys for Christmas for kids for Christmas at our local women and children's shelter. I would collect donations. I would go shopping for them. I've always been very big on helping and volunteering. So I really had to do some work because I was having a very hard time trying to discover what my new purpose is. What are my new goals? Because a lot of times normally we create these goals in life, and a lot of them we don't reach. And what happened was I actually reached my goals. So now I need new goals. I need new things. I need things to focus on. It's important that we have stuff in life that we can focus on doing and we're happy to do it. Everything can't be about going to work and making the money. It makes for a miserable life because y'all, you go to work, make money till you 65, and when you 65, you broken. Like you're broken, you could barely do what it is that you planned on doing at 65. Like that's not a life to live for anyone. No one should really be subjected to living a life that doesn't come with happiness. You know, in the States, we get 2 weeks of vacation a year. In most countries, they get like 2 months or more of vacation a year. So that shows that it's important to take time to yourself. It's important to be happy. And in being happy, you need to find some purpose. So, I thought about a few things. I could continue real estate here, doing rental arbitrage. And if you all don't know about rental arbitrage, it's something that we could work on if you wanted to. But it's basically where you rent a house or apartment, and then you rent it out for short term or long term rental. So kind of like subleasing, but short term, you make a lot of money off of it. It's something that's very much frowned upon in the US now, but it is something that is very, very possible here in Africa, especially Rwanda. So it is something that I'm considering, um, that someone brought up and they want me to meet some people. Um, they've also brought up me investing in some different companies here in Africa. I can continue to buy land and property, but I don't know that I want a bunch of land that I'll need to be doing building projects on right now. Um, and also the doing a nonprofit. For me, it would be for women and disabled. And this is the first time in years that I've had goals. I'm even including when I was still working as a nurse practitioner, because becoming a nurse practitioner was my last goal. Otherwise, I wanted to travel, get out of the world, get to Africa, get to Kenya, see where my family was from. So that kind of was my last goal. And I'm becoming nurse practitioner. Oh my God, it's been 10 years, 8 years. I don't know, y'all. It's been a long time. So I've been a nurse practitioner, and so I just really don't think I've really had a whole lot of purpose and like goal driven purposes since then. And I do think it is important to make sure you have goals in life. You need to have something to aspire to. Whether it's short term, I want to go on this cruise, or it's long term, I want to retire by this age, is very important. I was 21 when I told my mom I wanted to retire by 40. Y'all, I'm 39 and I think I'm actually retired. It wasn't necessarily a goal. I just was like, this shit's for the birds. Like, it wasn't very long until I got into the workforce. I got my first paycheck. I was working at Grady Hospital. For those of you in Atlanta, you know Grady Hospital. I was an ICU nurse. And I got my first paycheck. And I remember calling my dad and saying, why are they taking so much stuff out of my check? And who is FICA? And it looked like it said child support. I was like, how am I paying child support when this is my child? And why am I, like, my dad thought it was the funniest thing. He still tells this story till today. And because I was like, I know I have to pay state and city tax and like Medicare and Social Security, but who are all these other people? And to this day, he laughs about that story because it was just crazy that I had no idea that they would literally be taking what seemed to me like half of my check. And I was like, what the hell? I went and got a bachelor's degree to make more money. Back then an RN would make around 40,000 a year. Um, that was, oh goodness, 20 years ago. Um, and I was like, I wanted to get an Audi. That was my dream car. I wanted an Audi. And then I had moved into a new apartment. And I was like, how the hell am I supposed to get an Audi and pay for this apartment and do everything else I want to do? Um, if they taking my money, because when I calculated it, I had plenty of money. But then once they took my money, I didn't have as much money as I wanted. I didn't have as much money as I thought I would necessarily have. And that was mind blowing to me because this was my first real job. And my first real job, I was an RN. As a kid, I worked fast food and all of that. But my first real job at 2021, whenever I graduated, I was an RN. And that was crazy to me. And I don't even know why I went off on that tangent. It just kind of came up. But we live in this society where we work, they take a lot of our money, and then we're left with whatever is left. But once you start to create your own, I don't want to say your own universe because that sounds a little crazy, but I know what it was. Once you start to speak stuff into existence, I spoke into existence to my mother. I'm retiring at 40. This is for the birds. I'm not working all these years. This is ridiculous. There's got to be something better in life. And I would say that pretty often. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be something better in life. And back then, we weren't talking about manifesting. That wasn't a thing. Manifesting is a new term. There's a lot of new terms out here. And I was just speaking into existence what I knew to be true. I didn't even really know it to be true, but I believed it to be true at that time. I believed that I could retire by 40. And I didn't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to retire by 40. Um, of course, my mom did. She just laughed at me. She was like, okay, whatever, charisma. I got a lot of whatever charisma. So she just laughed at me when I told her I would retire at 40. And at 39, as I sit here in Africa, I realize that I am retired. But now I need more purpose. Because, no matter what you do, you have to have purpose in life. You have to have goals in life. You have to know what you're striving for. What wakes you up in the morning allows you to sleep at night. Otherwise, you end up like I've been, and I've just been spinning. I've just been spinning. Do I go here, there? What do I do? How do I do this? And, you would think that because you work, you have purpose, but working does not create purpose. Working creates a paycheck unless it's something that you absolutely love doing. So, right now is a time that I am really trying to figure out what is it that I love doing. How can I make a difference? Because, like she said, doing less can lead to mental clarity and direction. For me, that's meditation. For me, that's taking the time out. I need to clarify what it is that I want and know that none of this stuff is the end of whatever. This is just one thing. This is just one stepping stone. So, one of the things that I do challenge you to do when y'all wake up, because I do know it's 3 o'clock, or what, 1 o'clock on the West Coast. One of the things I challenge you to do is to think about what your purpose is. What is it that you feel like you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? You know, um, a legacy and generational wealth is one thing that was important to me. So, by finalizing the land purchase on my property, one, I have some in my name and some actually in my son's name. I'll get some in my daughter's name when she makes it over here. But that was one of my goals. That was a goal that I had. Um, Having land in Africa was important to me. So I would say figure that out for you. I'm going to work on figuring that out for me. And then, I asked a number of questions. Let's see if I can read my writing. So I really just asked myself, what do I want? Make a list and just ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want in this world, in this time space, in this reality? Um, and be honest. It's no need to lie because you're not the person that's going to see this piece of paper. So be honest and ask yourself, what is it that you want? If you want to make a certain amount of money, if you don't want to do anything to make it, if you want to, one of mine, leave a legacy for my children, leave my own legacy. Um, what is it that you want? Because I think that's what's important is to start with what is it that you want, not what everybody else wants, not what people think you should do, not what you've done in the past, but what is it that you truly want? Sometimes we just want to get the hell out. I don't think I could have thought this big without the help of people that I've met here and being on the continent. Um, Being in America, I'm a black woman. A black woman is above a black man, but below everybody else. Being on the continent, I'm American. I'm American doing amazing things. I am accepting that I am doing amazing things. This is positive self talk for me because I am not very good at accepting it. I am accepting that I am a black woman from America that has come to Africa, who is an American with a child with a disability, with a thriving real estate business, um, a thriving coaching business, investing. And I am the shit here. And that was very hard to say because I'm not in America. I'm just another number. I'm a minority. I'm a statistic. But in Africa, I am the shit. And I need to move as such. I need to accept that my greatness is on this continent. I'm not sure I would live in America again. I love y'all. I don't mind visiting. But I don't, something is saying I'm probably not. Something is saying that there are bigger things for me on this continent. There are things that I can do for people here. Oprah would have all of these organizations here in Africa for the girls and the children, and people would say, why isn't she doing that in America? And I never really quite understood it until now. Because in America, we're actually pretty blessed. Even the poor people are blessed. The lower class people are blessed compared to here in Africa. And not everybody, because, of course, some of these people are rich, rich. Um, but for the ones that are not, they're making a living and they're doing what they can. And I think that at this point, it's important to me that I bring more to the continent than the ability to buy land, than the ability to be here. And that won't be the case for everybody. But I want you to think about what you can bring. Bring more than what you left with. You have all of these wonderful gifts, all of these great talents that you can do. And there are some of you that are stifling them. You won't let them be because of fear. And y'all, fear can hold you down so much. Fear can completely turn you around. Fear can stop you from doing so many things. And that is all it is. a manifestation that we create in our own minds, which stop us from moving forward. Fear. But I'm telling you, once you get over that fear, there are some amazing things on the other side. Fear kept me from coming to Africa for 3 years. I needed to get my feet wet. I needed to educate myself. I needed to have some experiences. And they were good. They were good. Don't get me wrong. They prepared me. But now, like, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. It is absolutely amazing. It is wonderful, wonderful to be here. It is wonderful to be in a mindset of what can I do to help others. Um, Never even thought of myself as being a philanthropist, but maybe that's the direction I'm going in. But I really want to make a real difference in things that are close to my heart. Um, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So if you have something that you want to make a difference on, or you feel like during this talk, you have identified your purpose or even start to think about it, be sure to put that in the comments so I can see it. Create an accountability partner, you know, find one. It's important that we do these things for ourselves, whether it's for our next business, going to school, traveling, buying a house, whatever. All of these things I've spoken at some point in my life. Everything that I have spoken. I remember when I bought my first house, and me, my mom, Nadia, that's my daughter. I'm trying to think who else. I think my sister. We went in the backyard and we sat in the grass and I prayed for that house. I spoke that that would be my house, and that became my house. Mind you, that was in the middle of the recession. Just a year ago, the house was double the price and I couldn't afford it. And I said, I'm just going to wait. And then my realtor called me back maybe 6 months later. That house you love, it dropped in price. I still own that first house till this day. Make sure you take time to decide what it is that you want. Speak your reality. If that's manifesting for you, if that's praying for you, but take a minute. This is where I utilize the doing less. Take a minute to sit down with a pen and paper and ask yourself, for me, charisma, what do you want? Ask yourself, what do you want? And be very honest, be very direct, be very specific about what you want. I was very specific that I wanted to retire by 40, not at 40, by 40. It's a mosquito. I was very specific that that was my house. I was very specific that I would finish college in 4 years, even though I had a baby girl. I was very specific that I would become a nurse practitioner. Be very specific in the things that you want to do, the things that you will do, and the things that you will look back and say, I did that. Because you lead your own journey. You have the keys. Your destiny is only yours. So if you end up not doing a damn thing with your life, don't blame your parents. Don't blame society. Don't blame America. You hold the keys. Blame you. You're the only one that can truly make a difference in your life. I ain't saying that mess is gonna happen fast. Oh, none of my stuff really happened fast, y'all. But one thing that I always knew, and one thing that I always have told my kids, especially my daughter, tomorrow will come whether you plan for it or not. When I was 17 and pregnant in college, I knew that 4 years was coming whether I went to school or not. My baby was being born in 9 months, whether I was working or not. I knew that we would struggle for 4 years while I got my degree, but after that, we would live fine. And that's what happened. We struggled. We lived in housing, in an apartment, and that was okay for me for those 4 years until I finished school. But y'all, as soon as I graduated, I got up out of there. Like as soon as I graduated, I left the furniture for the people. Y'all can have it. Went, bought all new furniture, bought all new items, moved myself to the suburbs out of the city. I was in East Point, Georgia, moved out of the city, moved to the suburbs, and decided to give my girl, my baby girl, a perfect life. And that was what I spoke into existence. So, whatever the situation and the circumstances are right now, I promise you, you can get out of them with a little time, a little persistence, and a plan. So, I think I'm done talking today. But let me know your comments because, as I know, this is coming out when y'all are away because we're already up over here in Africa. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you come up with. And also make sure you like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell because, as you know, I do not plan lives. I just go live. So by ringing that bell, that's when you'll be notified that I am live. So I hope you all have a wonderful Friday. Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's the last day. So I'm from Atlanta, y'all. I was raised in Atlanta. So Ryan Cameron on V103 would do that song every Friday. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go out with the song. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's the last day. Hey, Charisma, what you gonna do? I'm gonna go see some apartments because I gotta find somewhere to live. What else am I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go hang out tonight. That's not really how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna go see some apartments. I'm gonna go hang out tonight. I'm gonna have friends with my fun. I'm gonna have fun with my friends all weekend long. Y'all can tell I never really got it. So then so then the other people say, well, get your apartment on. What else did I? Y'all, I'm doing horribly at this song. Get your apartment on. Go have fun with your friends. Go hang out tonight all weekend long because it's Friday. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's the last day. I completely butchered that, but only ATEL people know that. Ciao.